Switching.
Ooh.
We should be live now.
You timed it perfectly with the song ending as well.
It was calculated. Definitely.
You have to enable King Toad's background.
No, but like his icon's there.
Yeah, but the black box around it.
There you go. All better now.
Hello, everybody. It's the cast of hacks.
Yeah, numero quattro.
King Toad, want to talk about your Mario Party addiction?
Yeah, so it all started in...
Since I was a boy.
Why is it always that you're playing Mario Party every single time before every single HackCast? And one time you played it during the HackCast.
Sunday is usually like a free day for most people, so...
But they could be doing something better in their lives than Mario Party.
No.
It's every single week, Mario Party.
Just because Crouton is available every Sunday.
Yeah.
Does he rage?
No.
So who?
God, another hidden block.
Besides Crouton.
Mythilus, Toasty Fail. It's mainly people that aren't like super like known or active at all in the community. That don't even play hacks, really.
Besides Crouton. And you.
I used to play a little bit with... I played with you, Dienvik, and your friend that one time. Spaceland. We had the epic game of Horrorland as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so this stream is sponsored by that. Please donate for we can help people like King Toad get over this addiction of Mario Party. With your generous offer.
I get rid of it, though.
A stable $10 will do.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, fun story. One second. So, fun story. Basically, for this HackCast, we don't exactly know what we're going to talk about that much. I was kind of banking on the fact that the competition hacks would release before this HackCast. They did. They did. Like an hour or two ago.
Yeah.
So, basically, the Simple Flips competition specifically, for anyone curious. So basically, this time we're kind of just... I invited two people on, Friday or Saturday to try to see if they were available, and neither of them were available. And now I have no idea what we're going to... And we're going to talk about something, but...
We're going to talk about stuff. We're going to true ball it, for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, this is going to probably be the most improvised HackCast episode, even more than the first one.
So think of this like the first episode almost.
Yeah, this is the second first episode.
Yeah, it's a redo.
So what's it called? King Toad, want to introduce yourself now?
Who are you? Please tell us.
I'm King Toad. I like Mario Party and Wario, and I play Kaizo hacks.
Forgot to say TAC.
Ah, okay.
Basically, I'm a Kaizo player. Sometimes I also do speedruns, but yeah.
I didn't actually want you to introduce yourself.
Yeah. I mean, for those that missed that first episode from episode 4.
If somebody missed episode 1 and episode 3, they might not know who you are. But besides that, I think most people know who you are.
They especially don't know you because you're not putting webcam on today. What about you? Who are you, Mr. Host?
You are a host too. I'm not the only host now. I'm just the guy that does all the boring stuff that no one else wants to do.
I stream it because I got a cool PC. That's it.
And internet.
Yeah. I can somewhat do 6,000 bitrate, so that's cool. I'm actually streaming this on 6,000 bitrate because I think that's the maximum.
Mine is usually around 2,500. So
yeah,
yours is definitely better than mine.
I can thank my sister for that.
What's it called though? So yeah, this time
hacks.
We're supposed to talk about Kaizos and speedruns, and I'm trying to think.
I probably have more to say about the eShop closing than I do hacks right now. That's funny. pretty much.
This is gonna, again, as I said, this is gonna be the most improvised episode of everything.
I think that kind of makes it fun in a way. So, I mean, I guess to get started, for those that don't know, Kaizo basically means rearrange. So it's basically what ROM hacks mean in Japan, but because of a little known hack called Kaizo Mario World, it kind of took off as a way to introduce a new genre of hacks that are very difficult and sometimes unfair. And that kind of kickstarted it for other ROM hack communities.
Oh, I'm gonna talk about something completely different, actually.
Oh, well, okay. Glad I brought up a relevant topic.
No, because I just realized I could talk about something that's actually interesting.
Uh,
But I've actually been doing a lot more like tool-assisted stuff, or maybe not like exactly tool-assisted, but like more like kind of tool-assisted, kind of segmented stuff for 7.5.
that's kind of like what Moopin 64 is based off of, and BizHawk is actually specifically done for Tastuka. It's like a multi-system emulator, because
Yeah, I like BizHawk is also good for the
that's the one that has the shuffler too, because it can load LUA scripts, and that's what the shuffler is. It's a script that you have to load.
Yeah, this also was like other Lua scripts that you can use with BizHawk, but
Yeah,
with SM64 in particular, what's it called? People usually use Moopin for tasking, not BizHawk, just because it's better in most cases for SM64.
It's specific to N64, so that kind of helps, which is always
BizHawk
nice.
But what's it called? So what I was actually trying to do recently is I've been trying to get specific stars in Star Event 7.5 without any badges. Because in that game, there's like multiple different badges in the game. Like there's, what's it called? The big ones are the super badge. The super badge which allows you to break super blocks. Ultra badge which allows you to break ultra blocks. What's it called? The wall kick badge that allows you to wall kick, and the triple jump badge that allows you to triple jump. So I've been trying to think about ways to get certain stars and certain levels without without using any badges, because it's an interesting idea. It's an interesting thing. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I haven't even played that yet.
Yeah,
but someday.
There's badges that the big ones are honestly the super badge, because there's a surprisingly large amount of super blocks in the game, or at least surprisingly important. Ultra badge is not nearly as important as super badge. Without the super badge, you cannot go into Overworld 2 at all.
What?
You can get to course 6, but that's it.
Oh yeah, you can go to course 6. I'm willing to bet there will never ever be found a way to skip Overworld 2. There's no collision that you can take advantage of. What's it called? The only object that you have in the Overworld 2 area is a red coin and a scuttlebug, and neither of which will get you very far.
Mm-hmm.
So unless some major new exploit is found for SM64, there will never be a way to skip that block.
What kind of exploit are we talking?
Ace.
Oh, let's go. Wrong warping.
Yeah, wrong warping. One of those.
Classic.
Yeah. So, what's it called? That super block cannot be bypassed in any way right now, or probably ever.
Sad day for 7.5 fans.
What?
Sad day for 7.5 fans out there.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to beat the game badgeless, because you know what's actually interesting? If we could get past that super block, we would be able to beat the game badgeless. Not. I mean, you might think, oh, you can just So first of all, it's possible to get green switch badgeless using some complicated stuff. I don't know, but Shine told me about it. But that's not the big problem. There's an altar block in Double Towers that is very hard to. And by very hard, I mean I don't think there's a way to get past it without the Ultra badge or the Super badge.
No way.
If you can get past the Super block in Overworld 2, you can do checkpoint glitch using the checkpoint in Bowser 2. And you can use that to skip to the end of the level in Overworld, in what's it called, Double Towers, skipping the Ultra Block.
Oh, that's cool.
King Toad, you've done this before.
Yeah, I've done it.
In
It took
Two-Star.
1 hour to do it, but I did it.
It worked out.
Yeah.
And people have beaten me since.
Yeah. Well, you're still the 17-star king, Toad.
Yeah.
Haha, I see what you did there.
So anyway, so that's a big problem, but generally I try to pretend that Super Block doesn't exist for the purpose of like strat finding, because if there ever is a found a way to skip it, you want to know what stars you could actually get. Also, that Super Block will never be skipped, so it's important. So I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist.
Kind of out of luck.
If that makes any sense. Because I doubt there's any. Just for like what's on individual level, on an individual level basis, not on like a full game basis. If that makes any sense.
Mm.
Like, so here's. I've been trying to figure out how to get certain stars. So King Toad.
Yeah.
Want to guess how you would get the Canyon Star in Oil Canyon without using any badges?
A lot of firsties.
How? How do you do firsties without a wall kick badge?
I will think about that.
I'm just curious. Do you have any like secret methods that I don't know about?
Hyper jump, maybe? I don't know.
How do you do a hyper jump without getting a bunch of speed?
Well,
maybe like
J somewhere, maybe, if that's possible.
Okay. So the first thing to do is so this is a method that I developed to get what's it called, the Oil Canyon Star badgeless, assuming you can skip the Super Block in Overworld 2. Which is impossible, but let's just assume that you can.
Simply elevate your skill level, yes, sir.
Yeah. Basically, so what you need to do, here's a very simple step. You can do this at home if you want to. You don't want to.
You can do it right at home.
You don't want to.
Okay, so basically, what you do is you get the MIP star in Overworld 1. So that's the first thing. That's very important for this, by the way. So you go over to Oil Canyon. First of all, you have to actually get to Oil Canyon, which you might think is impossible badgeless. But you can actually do 2 badgeless wall kicks, one on top of a pillar and then one to the level, and you can get to Oil Canyon without any badges. Then what you need to do, go to Oil Canyon, make sure to open the canyon first, because otherwise you'll be screwed. Then what you need to do, so there's a few bob-ombs in the level. What you need to do is you need to instant release one of the bob-ombs so it ends up at the hole, which is set at the place where the MIPS is.
Don't tell me that actually fucking works, dude.
It does.
Wow.
So it sets it to the hole where the MIPS is. You go over there to where the hole is. You do a bomb clip through the Ultra Block, and then you have to make sure that your angle is low enough that you don't hit the ceiling of the Ultra Block, because otherwise you'll just clip onto the ceiling, but high enough that you so low enough that you don't hit the ceiling of the Ultra Block that you're trying to skip, but high enough that you actually hit the star. And then you get the star without any badges besides the super badge to get in.
How long did it take to figure this out?
Probably like maybe 40 minutes or so. I had to use Stroop to figure out a good place for the hole.
Yeah.
Which incidentally was exactly where the MIP star spawns, so it's perfect.
Time well spent.
So here is an even better skip for 3 different stars that you can do. For an Icy Temple of Time 2. Before this, I knew you could get the bad start using complicated stuff that I'm never going to be able to explain here in like a timely manner. But King Toad, you've watched me do that, right?
Yeah.
So there's
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah. So there's the bad start, which you can use using like invisible bombs and stuff. There's the 100 coin star, which is quote unquote easy compared to everything else, and then there's the what's it called star, the note block star. Those stars we knew you could get, as well as one other star, the one that's off the ledge. So those stars are easy to get, or at least I knew you could get them before I found this. But the other 3, there's a big problem. So the problem is there's an ultra block in the second night area that you basically need to bypass in order to get to any of these 3 stars. One of them also requires you to use Czechia to clip. Okay, now I'm spoiling myself. One of them also has another ultra block that you have to do, that you have to actually clip through or somehow break. There's another ultra block in order to enable the switch in order to be able to actually get the star as well. So you want to know how to get these stars?
Yes.
These 3 stars.
Tell me.
Okay. First step. You don't need any badges to get to Icy Temple of Time 2. So this is actually true badgeless.
Hold on, let me write this down.
So you might want to take notes because this is complicated.
Oh, I'm all ears.
Okay, so what you need to do first, the first thing that you need to do is go to Deadly Caverns.
Deadly Caverns.
I know you need to go to Icy Temple of Time too, but just go to Deadly Caverns first. Trust me.
Trust him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
next.
So when the bomb near the start, you jump with the bomb off the edge until you end up into a specific part. Exit course. That's to set the hope. Held object to last position because yeah. Then you go over to Overworld 3, go into Icy Temple of Time 2. And this is specifically for the Switch Star, because you have to get the Switch Star first. Because you don't have to do Deadly Cavern. You don't have to go to Deadly Caverns for all 3 stars, because you can just use the hope from the previous star.
Thank God.
The first time you need to go to Deadly Caverns. But also the first thing you need to do is you need to go up to the bridge at the top. But the thing is, you can't do the thing I did in my bad star badge list, which is using the bomb to clip through the little area. What's it called? Doing a bomb clip through the gate. You can't do that because there's a problem with bomb clipping through the gate, and that is that it sets your hope. And we set our hope already. We don't want to change it. So what we need to do is we need to go out to the super block where normally you would, break the super block and then open the gate. But you can't open the gate, so instead you have to climb on top of the super block, then climb on top of the wall, then climb up the wall all the way up to the top, then climb up the mountain, then up to the point where you can jump onto the palace, walk on the palace, or kick on the palace roof so that you can still. It's hard to explain.
This is a lot.
So you basically fall down to the bridge from above. Then you go through the warp, use instant release on the bottom in the warp area. This is the area that has this is right next to the note block star. You have to do specifically this bomb. You can't do any other bombs because instant release releases it at the hope laterally, but vertically it's at Mario's current height, and that's the only bomb that actually drops. It's the only place where the bomb actually appears at a good spot or at a good height, specifically in the whole level that you can access at least.
Hope you guys are taking notes out there.
So anyway, you do instant release on that bomb. Then you go back. You grab the checkpoint because you don't want to climb up the whole thing again. Ever. Then what you need to do is there's a box of a Czechia. What you need to do is you need to get light Czechia on that Czechia.
Oh. And?
So there's a box on the Czechia. It's near the little pier area out next to the switch.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, King Toad?
Yeah.
So you need to, use the light Czechia to clip through the box, because you can't use the regular Czechia because it's raised a bit, so you need to ground pound with the Czechia, which you can't do with a regular Czechia. You have to do it with a light Czechia. So you clip through the altar block with the Czechia. The reason why you have to do this after you do the instant release is because otherwise it would set the hope, which would be bad. Then you need to bomb clip through the gate that I was talking about earlier, since now we don't care if the bomb sets the hope. Go back up, do the skip I do in runs to go over to the other entrance to the other area of the level. The one that has the altar block that we're trying to skip using the instant release to bomb on. But first, you have to make sure not to grab the other checkpoint next to the second wharf, because it'll screw everything up.
You ruin the whole thing.
Yes. It'll screw everything up on the next star, which is more important. The next star that you do.
All that work just to do that at the end.
Yeah, no. So you do that. You go in there, you bomb clip through the altar block. Alright, so you go in there, you bomb clip through the altar block. The thing is, this altar block has a note block in it. So what you need to do is you need to approach. The thing is that this note block is so close to the top of the. So this note block is so close to the ceiling of the altar block that if you touch the sides of it, you'll ledge grab onto the altar block. So you have to do some weird movement in order to actually touch the sides and not to actually bounce off the note block. Mm-hmm. Once you're inside the block when you do the bomb clip. So you're inside the altar block and you can't do note block glitch in there, first of all, because there's no room.
Yeah, they're on top of each other. It's like,
yeah. So basically, you need to bounce off the note block, and then when you touch the ceiling of the altar block, you need to do a frame perfect C up input.
Oh, I'm good at those. No problem.
Specifically because that will that will preserve your vertical speed, so then you do punches.
VSC.
VSC. And then only then can you skip the altar block and then do the star. Do the actual part of the star. Yes. And specifically the switch start, because that's the start that we've been trying to get.
And this took 45 minutes?
Oh no, this one took an hour for me to figure out.
Oh.
Or something. An hour and a half, maybe. I don't know. This one's definitely more complicated than the first one. The first one's just an instant release. I can see somebody doing the first one RTA. I can see somebody doing the first one RTA. I cannot see somebody doing the oil canning one. I cannot see somebody doing this one RTA.
Would you say it's actually impossible or close?
No, it's not actually impossible. It just, I don't see it. It seems like something that seems very difficult to do.
Because I'm hearing first frames, VSC, all that shenanigans.
Yeah. What's it called? There's a frame perfect trick at the very end. You have to do an instant release, which is also a frame perfect trick, and then you have to do light Czechia as well.
Oh.
And if you fail any of these things, you have to reset.
Seems fun.
Yes.
Are you going to attempt that one day?
No.
Maybe using tools.
No. That's not right.
What's it called? So anyway, here's the last star that I'm trying to get badgeless. It's specifically in 1.1, because in 1.0 you can actually get this star badgeless easily, but in 1.1 it isn't that easy. This star I haven't proved yet that it's possible badgeless on 1.1.
Why is
But
it
I'm
specific to a version?
Basically, you could get 100 coin stars using 100 individual coins in 1.0. But in 1.1, Brody changed that, and so if you get 100 coins, it doesn't give you the 100 coin star. You need to get it from the
Classic.
box.
Classic.
And the only place where this matters is in Deadly Caverns. Because there's one platform which is just slightly too high to walk onto. It's stupid.
Slightly?
Very slightly. Now, I have a game plan for how I could get the Star Badgeless.
Let's hear it.
But I don't think I'm ever going to do this. With tools or without tools.
Why is that?
So, especially without tools, because this is impossible without
Well, yeah.
tools.
I mean, the other thing was like barely possible without it too.
Yeah, this one I am 100% sure, and you'll understand like later in a second. But
So what's step one?
so step one is go to the orange area and go to the place where the 100 coin star platform is, and then there's a bottom there, so you can set the hope there. That's the easy part.
However,
Step two, go back to the green part. Clone a Baba.
I can do that.
Not clone a Baba. Go back to the green part. Get hit. So clone a Baba, but get hit right before you clone it. Like right before it explodes, and you can clone it.
He has to hit me before I clone it?
Well, yeah, because you want to have the hit stun. Because basically, you don't want Mario's sprite. Basically, you know how Mario blinks on and off whenever like you get hit.
Yeah, Pan and Collect made a whole video about blinking.
Yeah. What's it called? Not like how like Mario blinks like visible and invisible back and forth every other frame. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So what you need to do is right when you grab it, you need to be invisible, and then you need to pause buffer the game so that you're always invisible, so that Mario's sprite never shows, because that's called pause buffered hit stun. It's a way of cloning at the hope. And it's the only way that's possible in the level. So you need to clone a Goomba into the object slot that the Bob-omb used to occupy in the small time frame that Mario is... What's it called? In the very small time frame that Mario is...
Suffering.
Yeah, suffering from...
invisibility and hit stun.
Yeah. So you need to clone a Goomba into the object slot at the perfect time and then throw the Goomba so that it appears at the hope. And you need to do it this way because otherwise the Goomba will be not... Like, you can't, like, move the Goomba over there. It has to be like this. This is the only way to have the Goomba tangible at the hope. Then you just bounce off the Goomba to get a little bit of extra height so that you can go onto the platform.
He's like a little lab rat at this case.
Yeah. The part of this that's impossible is the frame perfect pause buffers, because you need to do like 20 in a row or something. It's ridiculous. And there's no... that's impossible humanly.
Okay. It's pretty much that thing by itself that makes it impossible, just the pause buffers itself.
Yes. Yes, along with everything else.
Because, like, if you thought that was bad, you got this over here.
See, here's the thing. I actually haven't tested that out because I don't want to.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't even know if I would have done the Chuckya one either.
That sounds difficult even with tools.
Because there's 20 of them crazy that you have to account for the tool.
Yeah, it's crazy how difficult tasking SM64 probably is. Like, or like all these like A building challenge stuff, it's got to be ridiculous. How much time they spend or something? Because I
think you can spend your time more wisely with other tricks.
I don't know.
But we'll see. Maybe it'll garner interest randomly. I know that definitely how it works for me. I'll just like be interested in doing this random thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a better use of your time than starting a podcast about ROM hacks of SM64.
God, who would do that?
Yeah, who would do that? Anyway, we
want to play hacks. We don't want to talk about them. We want to play them. That's the whole point.
Yeah, we were going to talk about Kaisers and speedruns, and I got into a nerd. I got into like a nerd like rant about Starfield 7.5. Kington, what have you been doing in the past 2 weeks in ROM hack news or anything? Have you been doing anything? Is my internet dead?
Well, I've been playing.
You've been playing?
He's been playing hacks. Shocker, I know. Let's get more specific.
Well,
besides Mario Party.
I literally the day after the last HackCast, I got TD Reds.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Cool. How
I didn't even know that at all.
I think that was the only stream that I didn't watch that you were doing TD Reds, and maybe there's.
What is that? Does that make like 60 people or something that have it now?
Yeah.
50, 60?
52.
Actually, you know what it was?
How far we've come.
I might have done it while I was at like school or something, so I wasn't able to watch it.
He was on a turn of Mario Party as he was going for it. So, as everybody else was taking their turn, he was just like, "Oh, guys, I got it. By the way, I can continue now."
Imagine playing Treasure World while waiting for everybody else to play Mario Party.
The only way to play.
So yeah.
You also beat the best extreme hack of all time, Masses Challenge. Is that right?
That was before.
That was
another news.
What have you done since Treasure
I did not do that within the last 2 weeks. I can tell you that.
What have you done since TD Reds? I know you've been trying that for a while, but also I know you didn't enjoy TD Reds that much, so it's good for that it's over.
I started Stars the Beast 2, and yeah, I made some good progress in that.
Lots of blocks in that game. Lots of blocks. Note blocks, but it's not the note blocks you're thinking of. It's not the ones you actually bounce. It's just ordinary blocks for like no reason, and they're in every stage.
I've been getting stuck on a star for a few days.
Having a faith, Reds?
No, extra course Reds.
Oh, you're doing what I did? Yeah, I did the same thing. I did 6 first.
I just can't get that star for some reason. I don't know. It's
a backwards rainbow of the damn red coins, pretty much.
Yeah, I haven't actually played much Stars of the Beast 2, mainly because I haven't played much Kaizo hacks at all.
It's a very weird game. Like, it is better than the first one in a lot of regards, like level design wise, and of course people didn't like the win, and there's like no win in this game. Like, the win didn't really bother me that much in the first game. I could see why it was for a lot of people, but there's none of that in this game. But I don't know, it just doesn't feel appealing, if that makes sense. Like, if I were to replay any of those 2 games, I'd probably replay the first one, even though the second one is technically...
It might just be character. Like,
yeah, the first game has more character, yeah.
Yeah.
But the second game, I don't know, it just feels kind of dull.
Yeah.
It is fun in some regards. Like, I mean, Heaven of Fate has a really annoying beginning, but the other parts of it is kind of fun. Course 6 is kind of fun too. Course 4 is probably my favorite because I like a lot of the bouncing stars.
I haven't played any Stars of the Beast 2. Or I played it like once, like for a little bit, but I never really I never got past the first challenge because I don't play many Kaizo hacks, if you don't know.
Really?
Treasure World. The only Kaizo hack that I have any significant amount of progress on is Treasure World.
Yeah, I remember that. And yeah, like, I guess the beginning of the hack is kind of tedious too, because like course 1 is like a big empty field of like, there's nothing really going on in course 1. Like it looks nice, but it's like you can probably cut the size down in like half, and then that's where all the content will be. But in its current size, it seems like there's nothing around. It's like, where's the secrets? Where's the reds? It wasn't really engaging, if that makes sense.
I just
Yeah.
came up with a stupid title for the YouTube thing. This is going to be called the filler episode.
It's a filler. Just a filler.
Yeah, this one's the filler episode because none of us could think of anything because we were all I'm assuming both of you were also banking on it just being like the
Kaizos do cover a wider variety of topics, at least. So that kind of helps.
Yeah. But what's it called? I'm pretty sure you two were kind of banking on the Simple Flips comp finishing, just like I was.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the 4th episode.
Yeah.
And this is relevant to hack, so that helps.
What is?
Stars of the Beast 2, it's a hack.
Yeah.
We can talk about it.
It is?
Well, in some regards,
Yeah.
scratch that, I take that back.
Is there any hacks that aren't hacks?
Nothing 64. I suppose.
Super Mario 64, the 3 caps on top of the castle.
Yeah. Super Mario 65, that's not a true hack.
I know exactly what you're referring to, King Toad.
Desert Bus, I guess.
Any PC port hack?
Anything PC hack related.
It's not a ROM hack, it's an EXE hack.
It's a fan game, actually.
Yeah, it's a fan game.
There's a difference. But speaking of that series, I think he was Milgram for a while. Was making the 3rd game, but it was like more of a casual type of game. Not sure if it was exactly casual like Kaizo, but it was supposed to...
Yeah, significantly easier than the first 2.
Yeah, exactly. But I think he stopped it. He might go back to it. I'm not... Because I think the last time he updated me on the progress was... I think when I was playing Stars of Beast 2 for the first time.
Is there any updates?
2020?
I haven't heard any updates from Star Events 4.9 for a while. I wonder what's happening with that.
Sizzling used to have a status.
Really
yeah.
Yeah, I think... Who's busy?
Sizzling is busy.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Sizzling for a while had statuses on his like Discord saying like, oh, what was like how many stars were left to finish.
Yeah, like
at some point it said 149 out of 150.
Yeah, like it was close. Like I don't know.
Says that.
Yeah, like for a long time I remember it like being like people like saying it's about to come out, it still hasn't come out. I'm like, what is
I think it was supposed to come out like Christmas or something.
It was supposed to come out a week before Christmas, and look at now.
I mean, we're gonna talk about it the day it comes out, but or not the day it comes out, the bi-week after it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but
to be more specific, yeah.
I'm confident it'll be like a good hack.
Well, I don't think it's definitely not canceled. It's just going to be delayed.
I actually never checked. Is our bi-weekly schedule? Is our bi-weekly schedule in sync with the bi-weekly schedule, or is it like every other week is for each one?
Well, bi-weekly's been inactive for a while. The main host left the ROM hack server about a week ago.
Oh, Starlight?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Someone else said
Hardcore, the same thing.
Probably try to take over the bi-weekly single star competition.
Yeah, Starlight, I know, is the world record holder in Fantasy 64 Zero Star.
That was pretty important to bring up.
Super Mario 32.
Yeah, that's like probably his biggest accomplishment, honestly. So
in your eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
You probably think Sev's 182 in Fantasy is probably like the best thing he's ever done. No bias or anything.
Who cares about his Treasure World 182 record?
Oh, that's easy. Anybody can do that.
Yeah, what's it called? His 182 in Fantasy is amazing because I'm never going to beat it, but what's it called? His 100-star record, it's easily beatable. In my
You hear that,
eyes,
Sev? You got some competition? Oh, wait.
Because I want to beat it one day.
He's coming after you, buddy.
And by one day, I mean whenever I have enough time to run hacks, because I really don't have time to run hacks. I've had like IRL stuff like in the past.
But I guess in terms of Kaizo's coming up, yeah, there's 4.9. There's, I think Sombra was like developing a hack too at some point. Like he kind of told me in TB that he was doing some stuff. He even showed me some cool mechanics that he thought of.
I think True Baller was gonna release Star and Masters Challenge pretty soon.
Was that gonna happen? I don't know. I think I made a typo on that trailer. I think
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
What was
You
the
meant to say-
trailer supposed
I
to say?
understand you missed the one. You meant to type Q11.
Yeah, exactly. 11 quarter.
No. What's it called? You made a typo. It wasn't 2022. It's
2025 to be more specific.
No,
2222.
You actually meant the year 2022. You forgot an extra zero.
Yeah, I'm gonna put in a time capsule for our people in the future to finish. I'm sure they will cooperate.
I wonder if somebody made a hack that was scheduled to release in 100 years, would anybody play it in 100 years? Would anybody even remember it existed in 100 years? Would ROM hacking as a concept exist in 100 years?
That's a good question. It's like a pretty niche thing, but it does have its followers. Like especially Super Mario World. Like there's a lot more people dedicating ROM hacks in that community than here. Well, because there's a large audience, more so large player base playing Kaizos in that community compared to here. But even though it's a very niche thing, like I don't know, I could see it still thriving.
There's a decent amount of Kaizo players in this community, just like not as much.
It's just not as big as SMWs, but you know, it's still relatively good size.
Like I'm wondering if there'll be there's two ways I could see the SM64 ROM hack community dying. One is a very slow death where it's just there's less new people in the community and all the old people leave or whatever. Like that's something I could see happening.
I mean, you can compare it to like the Smash competitive community and speedrunning community. They got their veteran players there, but there's also a lot of new faces in these games too that have been rising. So yeah, people will never forget Mango, Hungry Box, and you know, people like that. But there are a lot of people making names of themselves in these tournaments too that are basically the new generation. And I feel like same could be said about Kaizos in a way.
Maybe,
or just the community as a whole, not even just Kaizos. But
Luna wasn't really like a big person in the Kaizo community until like 2019.
Yeah, and ROM hacks really aren't that. You know, they're still. I mean, they're not new, but they're not that old either. Well, for SM64, because they've been around since 2009, so it really hasn't even scratched the surface if you think about it.
You've got someone like Cartoon, who's been around since a very long time and is still here.
Yeah, Tomato Bird 8 too.
Tomato Bird's probably the oldest. In terms of, not like in terms of like age. I don't know if Quills or Tomato Bird is older, but in terms of like
Quills. It's definitely Quills.
Yeah. You old man.
In terms of like time in the community, he's been around in like the SM64 ROM hack community since the SM64 ROM hack community existed.
Yeah. Because, you know, there's people who've played, you know, they played those hacks since 2009 back then. They just, like, weren't active in a community per se. Like me, for example, I did play Missing Stars on, like, Monochrome 64. Not exactly when they were new, but, like, roughly, like, a year later since they've been out. But
I think I've mentioned this before, but I'm kind of in a very similar situation with you in that I've played it. I've played hacks for, like, years, and I really only...
Yeah, it's just like we just weren't active playing it until like, well, for me at least, it wasn't actively playing them since like 2018.
I was kind of actively playing hacks before I was in the community, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, that too. So in that sense, you're the oldest person who's been playing hacks. Wow. If you look at it like that.
No, I don't think. Tomato Bird's definitely the oldest person.
Well, I would like, because, you know, there's a lot of older people getting attacks too, but they haven't been around the community for that long. But in terms of like experience, it's I would say like, yeah, probably Tomato Bird still, because I think he has like the longest experience still, or one of them at least.
Look at Quills, like, you know, the man's older than 30, but he's still relatively, I wouldn't say relatively new to hacks, but he's not been around for that long compared to other people.
Yeah.
Alright, so that was the one way I thought the SM64 ROM hack community could die. Here's the second one. Nintendo takes down everything. nuke.
People are always gonna do this stuff. You'll never be able to stop it.
I definitely agree that it won't be possible to stop it, but it might. If people like start going to jail for making hacks, I wonder if people will start making hacks anymore.
I don't think you'll ever go to that extent. I feel like that's a little bit unrealistic.
I don't think it'll go to that extent, but you never know with Nintendo.
Because
they've only ever tried. Well, at least the most common example is Kaze.
Yeah, the reason why they go after Kaze is because Kaze is a big face in the community.
Yeah,
so
he's pretty popular. So yeah, they usually pick on him.
And at worst, he just loses money on the YouTube video. He can still distribute the hack. He's just not going to make money off YouTube. That's really the only concern he has.
I think rodents like Google Drive links have been taken down, but I think that wasn't actually Nintendo. I think that was somebody pretending to be Nintendo.
That happens too sometimes.
Yeah. That's like the Giva Sunner situation. Like that wasn't Nintendo.
Yeah.
That was just somebody being very, very stupid.
Because the difference between like Gilversunner and like distributing hacks is that those are just like the raw music of Nintendo being uploaded. So of course,
to pick an example of like someone who pretends to be Nintendo but actually isn't.
Yeah, of course, those are very easy taken down because it's very easy to abuse the YouTube like algorithm and like copyright system very well. Like very easy to abuse it. It's not at all in favor of the person who uploaded the video, which is sad to say.
YouTube copyright system. I could probably take down all of your videos, couldnt, if I wanted to.
You could take down as like TIC, SDC, Reds completion, like, and give a decently valid reason, and it's just like, oh, it's gone. You have a strike now. But in terms of ROM hacks, it's not the method that people distribute hacks is legal. They do it through patches. SMW does the same thing. So if Nintendo really tried to sue in that way, they wouldn't exactly win because they already argued that emulators are legit and legal, and distributing patches is also the same way. It's not ROM distribution, it's patches.
I don't exactly about the legality of patches. I'll explain why in a second.
Sure.
But what's it called?
I'm sure there's some loophole, perhaps, but
yeah, what's it called? I know emulators are illegal, and I know like making copies of your own ROMs is legal. Those two, but I don't think there's any court cases or anything about patches specifically.
Not yet. Who knows?
And the reason why I'm thinking that it might not be legal, it depends on the exact circumstances. Because if you replace like a sound effect to something first of all, if you replace any songs in the game with something else from a Nintendo song, they could argue, oh, it's our intellectual property in this song that was included in the patch.
Right.
So you have to think about that. But even then, like, what's it called? Patches contain the differences made to the original game. So theoretically, if you made a patch that was entirely... What's it called? If you made a ROM hack that was entirely null in the... What's it called? Like, every single bit of the... Like the 65 kilobyte file was null, or megabyte, I'm sorry, not kilobyte. You made
if only it was that small.
Every single bit was 0, so it was all nulled out. You made a patch, it would be, if you use, I don't know exactly how that BPS works, but if I were to guess, if you made a BPS patch, and it was all zeros from SM64, that patch might include the information required to remake SM64 to reverse the process, if that makes any sense. If you get what I'm saying. So I could see a reasonable legal argument that patches are legal, depending on the method of patching. I don't know how BPS works.
Yeah, I don't know the intricacies of that, but they'll always find loopholes like that.
Yeah, I could totally.
But I feel like patch distribution will be safe for the most part, and even if it is like, let's say it just turns out to be illegal, again, people are always gonna find a way to do that. They always do. Yeah, it's too big. It's too big of a commitment, and it's too big of people wanting to preserve things for that to die out, and I don't think it ever will.
Also, I doubt Nintendo will ever like go like full on like.
They're not going to go to that extent. They would be more concerned of people distributing like the games themselves, like the original games themselves. I don't think they really care at all about patches unless it's like making money on YouTube. But other than that,
oh yeah, I don't like people making money off of facts. I mean, I like cases like Patreon because that's not making money off of people buying like selling the hack.
yeah, it's just like directly supporting the person making the content. It's not exactly supporting.
Also, what's it called? There's also people that make like cartridges of ROM hacks I hate that too. Like I mean,
I don't know. It kind of depends. Like Sonic, you ever heard of Sonic 3 Complete? It's like a ROM hack that basically makes what Sonic 3 should have always been, but they have a cartridge version of it too that they sell.
I don't mean the original. I don't really mean the original ROM hack creators. I'm talking about like what's called Chinese like bootleg copies of like Star Road on N64 cartridges,
or just any game really, for that matter.
Yeah, any game. Like what's it called? You can find I'm gonna search right now. eBay Master of Time. I'm sure there's a Master of Time.
And they're usually like $20.
Yeah. I'm just gonna search Master of Time. Just
if you look up any like game of that era, with whether it's N64, GBA, DS, whatever, and you search the game on eBay, I think you'll always like find the reproductions listed first and then like the authentic ones after. That's why sometimes you have to specify authentic in the search as well. Otherwise, you'll be bombarded with the Chinese knockoffs.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
well, let me ask you this.
Oh, yeah. Here, I found, what's it called? I found a reproduction cart maker.
Master of Time.
So they have Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time, but they also have Dawn and Dusk, which is a ROM hack, and The Missing Link, which is also a ROM hack. And I'm sure they didn't contact the creator to get their permission, and I'm sure they're taking all the money for this hard work. So I do not like that.
Back in my day, the way to play Master Quest, like legit, was the GameCube 2-game bonus disc.
Master Quest thing, but that's not. These are First of all, these are definitely reproductions.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like back then, it's like GameCube was like a good way of doing it. It was legit too.
What's it called? The Missing Link was like Case's hack too. So like this is a card that's pretending to be like an official Nintendo version of a Case hack, which obviously isn't real.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, Dawn and Dusk.
Dawn and Dusk is somebody else's hack, I'm pretty sure. But
I'm just saying in general, it's like just redistributing hacks. And there's Missing Link. I just found it right now. Missing Link for $34.
Yeah, I think I found the same one that you did.
Is it by Rakarn?
Still no repros for Master of Time though.
Is the location United States?
I found a Rakarn 73.
Yep, I'm looking at the same one.
Yeah. Ships from United States.
They didn't even make it yellow, just like Majora's.
What's it called?
But the easy tell that it's fake is that they'll list it as game card, but it's not a card, it's a cartridge.
Yeah, it's an obvious thing.
But sometimes you could just look at it, and it's like very easy to tell too.
Also, if they're selling ROM hacks, you know it's fake.
Yeah.
Or Master Quest, because they never released Master Quest on N64.
I guess as a whole, what would you say is like your stance on reproduction carts as a whole? And then being distributed?
I don't like them at all. Even if they're like labeled correctly, somebody else can just resell them as originals, or somebody who buys them who doesn't know that they're reproductions, even though they're labeled as reproductions, could sell them as originals, thinking that they're originals.
Yeah, that's the worst case. You're definitely right on that. The worst case is that they make it out to be the originals. Like if they purposely say like, no, this is the authentic cartridge, when it turns out it's just a reproduction game card, then yeah, that's when it's like at its worst.
The European name, trust me.
This is Mouse Attack, but it's the legit title of this game, Kirby Mouse Attack.
What was it, the other one?
I think in Korea, Galaxy is just called Super Mario Wii. I'm pretty sure.
Mario Wii.
Not new Super Mario Bros. We had Super Mario Wii. All the way there.
I wanted a 2D Mario game, not a 3D Mario game.
This doesn't say new on it. It's not new.
Yeah, this definitely. I also definitely have a problem with people taking advantage of ROM hack creators' hard work by selling their ROM hacks for real money on cartridges.
I mean, I guess EverDrive doesn't count because EverDrive just has anything, so you're not purposely selling the specific.
Yeah, EverDrive isn't selling the actual game. It's just selling a method to play any game.
Every game, like you could ever want.
It just so happens that you can also play ROM hacks on that.
Yeah,
that's just like a side thing. It's just like, oh, we can just open the file extensions and like that's it.
My problem, as I said, is people selling specifically a specific ROM hack on eBay or something. I do not.
When
like
it's not
that.
theirs, yeah, because there's a small dedicated number of people for like NES, for example, who make homebrew NES games for that system specifically.
That's fine. Like if you sell like your own ROM hacks on cartridge, I could totally see why that would be okay.
It's more like, hey, buy Waluigi's Taco Stand, even though Kaze didn't do that.
Actually goes to the actual creator. Is there please tell me there's a Waluigi's Taco Stand like reproduction cart?
I think there is, yeah.
It's like actually like made an actual cartridge.
Yeah, I think so.
And sold it.
Yes, there actually is.
Only one way to find out.
I found 4 on eBay.
Let me see. Yep.
You just took Waluigi's Taco Stand.
Whoa, it's only $30.
40.
and each one has different labels. Art. They have different art labels.
Some of these are definitely repros, although you said Nick Case might have actually made original cartridges.
Made one.
Is this the future of hacks?
So one cartridge, but it was actually like real.
They have a Smash remix too, funny enough.
Yeah, but I find it really funny that this Waluigi's Taco Stand. Hold up.
Would you buy like Kaizo hacks out of carts if they were like legit from the owners?
Fuck no, I'm already suffering enough.
Like buy an actual TIC cart. That'd be kind of sick in a way.
The only reason I would buy a TIC cartridge for is to destroy it.
Just bragging rights. I would do it. I would do it just to like mangle it with my sledgehammer.
Yeah, I know. What's it called? I already have an EverDrive, so why would I want to buy a Kaizo hack cartridge?
Because they're fun.
But why would I buy a Kaizo hack cartridge when I could put it on my EverDrive?
Because it doesn't have the fancy label. That's part of the charm, is the label.
Unless the creator was an ass and decided to make it so that the cartridge, that the ROM specifically doesn't work on EverDrive.
This is a KBRX free edition cart.
Yeah.
I guess for me, when it comes to reproduction carts, is that...
What did you say, King Toad?
Oh, yeah.
What did you say?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I wonder if there's a piece...
Imagine people getting mad because they bought KBRX free.
Oh my!
Like they bought the KBRX cartridge, but it turns out it was the free edition with the checkpoints. It's like, this is not what I ordered.
This is too easy.
You know what's really funny? You know how quickly people sell case cartridges? There's already a Peach's Fury cartridge on sale.
Bruh.
And this art is amazing.
Lovely.
I'm sorry. It's just, first of all, there's do not copy all over like the image for the preview.
This is not a crime scene.
It's not a resell.
No. I'm gonna post it in chat. The link. For the Peach's Fury card. This art is somehow made in Japan.
$80
Canadian.
Still.
So $62. It's ridiculous. I don't know. That's about as much as an EverDrive costs. Why would you buy that instead of an EverDrive?
Not as much as a fucking Switch game.
Yeah.
It's more actually.
Oh yeah, worth it.
An EverDrive is like $80, $90.
It's just like new as well.
70, 80.
Expansion pack is required. Without one, the game will not boot at all.
Hold on, let's see if there's any other amazing.
I didn't know Smash Remix was on a cart. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, I guess.
Made by the team itself, though.
I don't know. Hopefully, but...
there's a Mario's Vacation Course cart. I think it's by the same guy that sold the Peach's Fury cart.
I mean, he did Didn't he make like an IQ version of that too?
Yeah, that was Rionu. He made it so the game could work on IQ.
Oh, thank God! Thank God he looks after those players who mean to play that.
Yeah. I love this. I love how much he put probably like 2 minutes in effort in the Mario's Vacation course logo or label.
I could probably make like a quick like KBR series like cart if I wanted to. I can make a quick TIC one.
I wonder what other cartridges this guy sells. Hold on.
It wouldn't be too different from like making thumbnails, to be honest.
This guy's selling Lug's Delightful Diorama. Is that even console compatible?
I don't think so.
This thumbnail has nothing to do with Lug's Delightful Dioramas.
And then like when you put it in a cart and it's like a completely different game.
I don't even think it does work on console.
I know it works on Virtual Console for Wii, but that's it. I don't think it's meant to work on N64.
I don't think it does work on console. Let's see, Lug's Delight. Well, I'm searching on ROMhacking.com. Let's just see. No, it doesn't say console compatible. I don't know if this is actually console compatible.
Only one way to find out: buy it,
or just use it on my EverDrive.
Yeah.
Because I doubt this guy put in like effort to like make it console compatible.
That you have no idea like how easy it is to make a cart like that. Like I could make this right now if I wanted to.
Yeah,
not that hard.
One of your game carts. It's like, make a cool cover and all. Like Star Adventure 6, Luigi's Adventure, you put up the game, it's Donkey Kong 64.
People do that. Like if you buy some reproduction, sometimes it might be a different game than like what was advertised. There was a video I saw that was criticizing reproductions, and he got like a Banjo-Kazooie one, and it ended up being some completely different game.
This guy's selling a Return to Yoshi's Island demo cart.
A cart of a demo, yes.
At last, I can get my hands on it.
Oh my, the Star Road cart actually has like footage from the game. Somehow.
Sick.
On the label.
Isn't that like progress?
Super Luigi 64. They're selling Super Luigi 64.
You mean the
yes,
the small levels.
Yes.
The fucking Fire Luigi.
Hold on.
The hack actually wasn't half bad. I'm not gonna lie.
People are gonna buy these carts now of us advertising them.
Yeah.
Pick up your copy today.
The Legend of Mario Star-Sealed Castle. I didn't even know that hack existed.
I don't think that's a hack. I think that's just a game he made up.
Let's search. Oh no, it is a hack that exists. It was made in 2020 for a Simple Flips competition.
Do they have any Kaizos as cards?
Simple Flips competition hacks, 1 by 1 on cartridge.
I want to see if there's a Kaizo hack. Hold on.
Maybe Extreme Edition, perhaps.
I don't think it's an SS64 hack, but there's a Rick Roll Rick II 64.
I typed Extreme Edition and I got Odyssey. For some reason.
Wait, what Extreme Edition?
I typed in Super Mario 74 Extreme Edition. I got Odyssey as a listing.
Yeah.
A real Extreme Edition.
Yeah, darker side, man.
This guy has so many ROM hacks. I'm only on page 1. Okay, so there's the K is optimized. He actually credits the author here. SM6. Oh, he doesn't credit the original offer. He
that's nice.
Optimized offer for SM64 Sapphire. Credits K's for that game.
K's warm up by me. I made the game.
But I honestly
just do Wario Heaven on a cartridge.
I doubt he's giving any money to K's because why would he? Okay,
here you go, man.
Time. I didn't know that hack existed. What the? Zelda Ocarina of Time randomizer.
That's funny.
On the cartridge.
This has become
randomizer is built in the game, but
yeah, but like it's one randomizer. You can't randomize.
It's the same seed every time. Yeah. I like how this ceased to become a podcast, and now it's just like looking up eBay listings now. We should really be showing the screen of like all these cartridges. It's like
Yeah, but
That's
we're
funny,
too
though.
busy looking up.
I'm
I
laughing.
want to know if they have any Kaizo hacks. Like, do they have normal Kaizo? Like Kaizo
Mario and
164?
Yoshi 64K's edition.
They probably have like they probably have Super Mario World ones as carts. I would imagine.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think so. Because I think in GDQ they had to play it on console in order to you know be submitted.
Although they probably use a flash cart like EverDrive in GDQ or something.
Fun fact: I forget which PAX it was. I think it was either 2020 or 2019. Me and Andrew, there was like a speedrunning thing going on, and we were potentially gonna like submit like Treasure World and Sapphire onto that, but we had to. I was gonna do Treasure World on Wii VC because you can do that. Thank God. And I think he was gonna do the same thing, or maybe it was EverDrive. I don't remember. But I think I submitted it too late because I think it was like past the deadline. But I heard of it late, and I was like, "Oh, I could submit Treasure World and show people that. That would have been funny."
Yeah,
but it was too late.
That I want to. One day I want to submit like a ROM hack to like a big marathon to put like to shine a spotlight on like actual like ROM hack speedrunning. We've gotten back to the podcast, by the way. We're done looking at eBay for now.
Yeah,
and I'm still looking.
We're back
looking at eBay, but I haven't found anything funny in the past 10 minutes or 10 seconds or whatever.
You're just gonna find 24-hour hack randomly. It's like, why am I not making money off this?
Oh no, I have to search that up now.
I'm not even getting money out of this now.
It is?
No, I have to search it up. 24.
It's like, think of all the money I could have been making this entire time.
Oh, thank goodness there's no 24-hour hack on eBay.
What about 1964?
Oh no.
Well, I mean, if you type 1964, I don't think you'll get cartridges.
But I
of all
found,
things.
what's it called? Super Mario Star Road 64 from earlier, so yeah.
Oh, well,
Super
that makes
Mario
sense.
Star Road 64.
But yeah, like as a game collector, reproductions like are nice if you just want to experience it on the actual cartridge, but like that's it. But a lot of people care about the it being authentic.
I mean, if I wanted to experience it on the actual cartridge, I would.
I just buy the actual game, yeah.
Or buy an EverDrive if it's what's it called, thingy. Like
personally, like it's no use to me because if I really wanted to buy a reproduction, I'll just play it on my computer instead and save $20-$30. But people sometimes buy these. There's a big reason why some people don't buy the reproductions carts is because they view the actual games as a piece of history, like art and like video game history. So to actually have the authentic versions of those is preserving it that way. Yeah. Preserving history.
I really just have a problem with people selling like ROM hacks on eBay.
Yeah, that's really weird. Especially because ROM hacks arguably play better on emulator anyway. So, well, they do because not all ROM hacks can be played on EverDrive.
I'm surprised there's no one selling a Last Impact ROM.
Yeah, that would be pretty obvious too. That's surprising.
Well, no, the thing is, you know why it is? It's because there's no way that works ever on console.
It's too much, yeah.
I think
even with an expansion pack.
I think delightful dioramas.
Well, now you gotta buy LDD, and then see if it actually works.
No, I'm not paying $60 for Lug's Delightful dioramas.
Not even if it's Canadian.
No, what's it called? Instead, I'm just gonna put it onto my EverDrive and see if it actually works because it might actually work because it's ROM manager.
Just put it on your watch list.
Watch list.
Just in case it goes down. They might give you a deal. But yeah, me specifically, I'll never buy it. I'll never buy reproductions for the most part.
Yeah. So yeah, that's... I guess we're done, right? And
that's another difference too, is that there's another reason why, just one more point I wanted to add about reproductions versus authentic, is that if you're buying, because some people don't want to pay the people who are reselling these reproductions because they don't want them to have money. But people probably make the argument, but well, you're doing the same thing if you buy authentic carts off of eBay. Not exactly, because those carts were already paid for when they were new. So Nintendo got the money from the authentic carts, even if people are reselling them. At one point, Nintendo got the money from that, so that counts. But reproductions, they're not making money off that because it's remade, so that doesn't count.
Yeah.
So that's another big reason. But we'll end with that, I suppose.
So who are we rating? Because
Katsai could use viewers.
Banton's playing a game that I don't want to raid.
Let me see what game. Oh, yeah, please don't.
There's no other ROM hack people that I see live.
I think Katsai was streaming earlier, but they just stopped. Good timing.
Good timing, Katsai.
Yeah, there's like 0 people playing. There's some guy playing Treasure World, Dark Dog, and the title is Mario. Perfect.
Let's just not. If you want to raid them, I don't know.
But it's Treasure World. Everybody likes Treasure World.
Yeah, let's just raid them.
Let's raid them anyways.
Yeah, we don't have anyone else to raid.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, guys, if this one was kind of boring or rambly or whatever. This was the filler episode. Hopefully next time it'll be really interesting because it'll be about the competition. We'll actually have like an actual guest on, somebody that actually is interesting. Besides
talk
us.
about how patches work too, for that previous point we made about patches, whether they're legal or not. Yes, he is. Oh, that's even a better reason to rate him.
Why is this guy I've never heard of speedrunning Treasure World? I need to.
You have a raid in progress. Guess you beat me to it.
Yeah, I did.